Hey, hello, and welcome to One More Rabbit Thing, a podcast where we talk real online rabbit discussions, dig into some rabbit research, answer real rabbit owner questions, and learn together, most importantly. Let's hop right into that Bunny Bulletin and see what I have for you on today's show. Okay, so number 1, do our bunnies know their names, or are we just talking to ourselves? Our misters, also known as misting systems is what I should say, are they okay for your rabbitry, or are they harmful? Number 3, rabbit heat hack or rabbit myth, the Gatorade debate. So stick around for that one. And number 4 I have is a mystery topic, and that's labeled as a mystery because if I do not have time for it, then we will get into it the next episode. So if I haven't said it already, I don't think I have, I am your host, Jade. And welcome to my very low quality podcast. I am sitting in my room while my daughter sleeps, my toddler, while she takes her nap. I'm a mom of 4, and I am just hunched over my phone doing what I want to do. Thank you for joining me. I want to talk rabbits. So that's where you come in. So guys, let's get right into topic 1 because I don't know how much time I've got. Do our bunnies know their names? So that's kind of an odd one, right? But I seen it come up and I said, you know what, that might be a fun one to talk about. So I'm going to be showing screenshots and a couple videos that I grabbed. Let's hop over to rabbitcaretips.com, I believe. Yes, rabbitcaretips.com. Do rabbits know their names? So I'm going to read to you guys a little bit here. Certain pets will run straight over to their owners, it reads, when their name is called, and often do so with a cheery gusto. Other pets, like rabbits, are much harder to read and understand, so much so that some owners may wonder if a rabbit recognizes its name. Okay, this reminds me like of cat and dogs, right? You call them over, especially a dog. Cats, maybe not so much every time, but cats definitely recognize their name. I had a cat out here, a farm cat, and we would call him if he wasn't around, because sometimes he'd take off for a day or two around the summertime. But when I'd call him, he would always come. And that was kind of my favorite thing about that cat, and I don't think I've had one like that since. But rabbits are prey animals. So when I first seen this topic, I thought there's no way that they're doing this. So how many words can a rabbit learn? It says, let's read a little bit on this. Rabbits can be taught many different commands. Try to keep these commands short and simple so it's easier for the rabbit to learn and remember. Common words and phrases rabbits can learn include, according to this article, no, come here, up, they're referring to onto a couch or your bed, it says, down, off the couch or bed, it's okay, reassuring them when it's scared, because like we said, they're prey animals, different from these cats and dogs we're used to calling over. Bed, go inside, or is the last one, and it has them like together. Bed / go inside. Go back to the hutch, cage for a night's sleep, it says. It says rabbits will also respond to the tone of your voice. Most commands should be said in a soothing, gentle voice so you do not scare the rabbit away. So do rabbits respond to names? Jumping down a little bit. According to the Humane Society for Science and Policy, rabbits will not always come when called. This is not to say that the rabbits do not know their own names. This is, this failure to come over is more deliberate display of disobedience, especially if a rabbit's ears flick back towards you when you call its name, but it still does not move a muscle. So I skimmed through this. I didn't read that first top half. I did read this part though, yesterday when I was kind of going over my notes. I want to make sure this runs fairly smoothly for you guys, but right after I read this, my Holland Lop, I have meat rabbits and I also have a Holland Lop pet bunny that's inside, and I was trying to clean his kennel a little bit. He was in there, or his playpen area, and I was trying to clean it, and he doesn't like me to clean it, and I think most bunny owners can relate to that. And he was flicking his ears back and kind of, he didn't really stomp, but it looked like he might. And I remember I read this, and I didn't realize that that was a body language type thing for them to express their irritation with me. But yeah, he does not like it when I clean up his droppings. He's not a fan. He wants me to just leave them there. They're his, he thinks. Okay, so it says it's important that when you first teach a rabbit its name that you stick to a single name call. Some owners may give their rabbits nicknames shortening Snowball to Snowy or simply Snow, which I do the same thing. My rabbit's name is Mufasa, and I call him Moo for short. But I just say Moo the most often. Okay, so how fast do rabbits learn their names? Teaching, and I'll just read a little bit more on this before we hop over to some forums and people discussing this. So teaching a rabbit its own name and to come when that name is called can prove to be a long process. Rabbits do not respond well to aggression or anger, so patience is key. Okay, make sure that, and it goes on to say, make sure that they don't see you as a threat, because they're such cautious animals. Be patient, be patient. Okay, and so they have some tips for us. So let's get into these real quick. It says, kneel on the floor on your stomach so you are rabbit's eye level. Remain still quiet until your rabbit feels safe enough to approach. Reward their curiosity with a fruit treat. I will point out, as long as they are of age. I think they need to, I just seen someone talking about it, not to give the babies these little fruit type treats and stuff like that. You want to wait till they're a little bit older. So do not try to grab your rabbit and make any sudden movements, since this will just scare them away. Okay. Same thing. And then it jumps down to some more teachings, but it's basically the same thing. So I don't want to stay too long on this topic here. But a Google search will tell us, yes, rabbits absolutely recognize their owners. While they do not process faces the way humans do, they identify you primarily through your scent, the sound of your voice, and established routines. Which makes sense, doesn't it? Signs that they know and trust you. The bunny binky, our favorite, right? Jumping and twisting in the air to express pure joy. Nudging or headbutting. I had a guy message me back yesterday. I've been on the hunt for a Tamuk doe, a high quality one I've been looking for. And I messaged him and I asked if they were aggressive, and he pointed out like this head nudging, like a headbutting. He said she headbutted me. But she doesn't bite, but I didn't tell him because we were discussing price and traveling, because I'm not able to travel. I was kind of hoping he would meet me a little bit closer, but he didn't, and that's okay. I'm hoping though, I'm going to be headed to that area soon. So if I do, I might message him and see if I could still get that doe. But anywho, what was I going to say? Oh, he said that she's been headbutting him. And I thought, well, man, that just means she likes you. So that was a good sign for me. So as long as it's a gentle bump from your rabbit, it says that it means that they are asking you to pet them, which is super cool. Chinning, rubbing their chin on you to leave a scent. Oh, and I didn't know this one, you guys. Marks that tell other animals you belong together. That is so sweet, because my Holland Lop's been doing that to me the last couple mornings. So that makes me really happy. And the tooth purr I heard from one of my meat rabbit does just yesterday. She gets very affectionate when she's getting ready to kindle, which she is anytime now. The tooth purr, a very soft grinding of their teeth, different from grinding in pain, of course, it says, signifies they are completely relaxed and happy. This comes to us from Reddit, is what it says. Okay, so speaking of Reddit, let's hop into that. And we have a post here, which I'll show you. It's a cute little black bunny. He's adorable. I don't know what breed it is. It says, how do you teach your rabbit their name? I've had Lily for a month now, and she's 4 months old. And the only thing she answers to is a it's a rustling bag of food, is what it says. Okay, so here's the responses to this. We'll take a look at. I have it pulled up for you, I'm sure. Rabbits learn exceptionally well with positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement based training, excuse me. This can include methods such as clicker training, lure/reward training. In both cases, the rabbit will receive a reward, usually a small food reward, right? So, okay. Let's see if I want to read any more of that. Okay. Management behaviors such as going home on cue, coming when called. Well, obviously that's how you would understand that they knew their name. This next commenter says they get to know it over time. Say it all the time when around her and when you're feeding her. Okay, same thing. Let's see if there's anything interesting. Someone asks, do you think some bunnies think their name is I love you, since that's what a lot of owners say? Wouldn't that be sweet? That's really cute, actually. That thought wouldn't have even crossed my mind. They can be trained to come just like cats, it says, which is to say they can understand what you want and they'll do it if they feel like it. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm leaning towards on this, is it's really just if they want to. It says, yep, mine will totally come when he wants to and stomp and run when he does not. They're not a cat. They're not. And we'll kind of get into that discussion a little bit more later, touch on it. But I think a lot of people kind of think that. They think that these are cats. Someone called them, I seen a comment the other day on Facebook, and someone said that they are floor cats, and it's like, I thought it was cute, but I wonder how much of that she's taking too seriously, maybe. It says the bat bun knows his name and usually, that must be what they call their bunny, knows his name and usually ignores it, but he also knows banana time and will come out of hiding so fast. I think he just teleported to within 6 inches of my feet. But since rabbits need consistency, I only use banana when I have a banana. Or if there were a very serious emergency where I had to pick him up immediately. So they have a nice little trick there with the banana. I've never given mine bananas. If you have, comment below how old they were when you started introducing bananas. I've never done that. Bananas are pretty high in sugar. So, but I see that's a common snack with pet owners. Okay, so this commenter asks the same question, really. How do you guys know if your rabbit knows their name? When I try calling my boy, he doesn't respond, but I can't tell if he doesn't know his name or if he's just ignoring me. So we have that common thing again here. They're thinking their bunny's just not wanting to respond. Mine know their names. Sometimes they don't come when called because they have no respect. Yep, this, LOL. Mine definitely knows her name, but she doesn't always want to come when called. They have selective hearing. My little dude knows his, another commenter says. He's selective about hearing it 100%, but also, like any animal I've had, he basically has a dozen other extra names too. And we do that, right? We pet names, that's where that comes from. We give them a bunch of names. And dogs are the same too, aren't they, in that aspect? Like, they don't always come when you call them. At least mine don't. I'm not really good at dog training, though. Okay, let's see. I don't know if I'm going to read all these that I snagged for you, but I will probably still add them in. And then you can pause and read if you guys want to. Okay, let's see. You guys are getting me at my best or my worst because I don't do a lot of editing out, so I'm not going to cut any of this stuff unless I take way too long if my kid needs something. One of my kids, I have 4. Okay, let's read this. It says they definitely do. They can be very loyal to their owners as well, but rabbits have bad eyesight generally. So, which is that true? Do they have bad eyesight? So they rely on sound, scent, and movement of people. So mine will remember the way I walk, what paths I take in my apartment, and he also recognizes my friend. He likes my friend a lot, but he will run for cover when new people come over. He also understands vocal commands. They will also come to you for help if they're sick, hungry, or thirsty. They're pretty cool animals, and the bigger they are, the chiller they are generally. That's what he says. This is still on Reddit. Do rabbits have bad eyesight? I'm going to look that up real quick. Because I didn't know that. And I'm not here to spread any misinformation or anything. Like I said, we're learning together. I said at the beginning of the show, and it's usually in my description. I've been doing this for over a year now in my Rabbitry, but I don't know everything. Rabbits have unique eyesight that is well adapted for their survival as prey animals, but they do have limitations compared to humans. Okay, wide field of vision. Rabbits have nearly 360-degree field of vision due to the placement of their eyes on the side of their heads. This adaptation allows them to see predators approaching them from almost any direction without needing to turn their heads. I don't know if that's something that they adapted into or not. Anyways, enough of that. Yeah, I don't know if that has to do with their names being called. He thinks so. He thinks that they don't come because of their bad eyesight, I guess, or it's a factor lying in it, it says. Okay, so my pet, my Holland Lop, when I say pet, I guess I could do this as a little experiment, start calling him Moo a little bit more often when I'm around him. That was a good suggestion that they had, and maybe I'll incorporate some treats and try to get him to come to me. I sit by his little door, and then, or he'll be sitting by it, and then I open it and I pet him, and then he goes back in when he's done with me. It's really on his terms. And the same with my kids. Like my oldest daughter, he wants pets from her. He loves up on her. He's not too crazy about the younger two. And at least for right now, it's really just on his terms. So my opinion on this, I think that's enough time spent on that subject. I'm surprised. I just never thought to really ask this question. Really, any loved pet, we want them to know their name, right? Not sure if the rabbit cares to have a name as long as there's treats available on demand, like bananas for them. So this article too, you can truly find anything on the internet, is what it made me think. What a fun question that these people had, and I was glad to grab it. If you've made it this far, comment your bunny's name below as we hop into topic number 2. Are misters okay for your rabbitry, or are they harmful? Misters as in a misting system. Okay. So I pulled this website for us, and let's read some on how rabbits regulate their body temperature and why heat waves can kill rabbits, is what it says. Because that's why this discussion is going on, and I seen it on Facebook originally, so maybe it's not going to let me pull it up, you guys. This is the first time that's happened to me. That makes me kind of sad. Yeah, it's not going to let me do it. That's cool, though, because I can just look it up myself. I wish that... Heat waves. Let's see. Okay. That's cool, because I still got Google in front of me. Let's just type in rabbits and how they regulate heat. It's going to be through their ears, but I wanted a little bit more of a scientific... I wanted the internet to kind of help me explain it better, because I'm going to sound dumb if I just try to tell you how they do it. So, all right, without too much wordage, hopefully. Rabbits have large ears with a dense network of blood vessels close to the skin. When the air is cooler than their core temperature, blood flows to the ears, increasing... I don't want to pronounce that word, you guys. Not the smartest, Okay, so anyways, allowing heat to radiate out. In cold conditions, blood flow is reduced to conserve heat. Okay. Fur insulation, their thick coat insulates against cold but can trap heat in hot conditions. Finer coats lose and gain heat more quickly. making them more vulnerable to rapid temperature changes. Okay, so they seek shade. Stretching out in hot weather is something that they do. Burrowing. Okay, so if we have meat rabbits in kennels, guys, they can't burrow. Colony setups, though, this is where they thrive in this heat, because if you're digging a hole for your bunny, and a lot of people do totes, is what looks like the most popular. Your kits are going to be cooler, and your bunny too. It's going to be better for them. Shade is a big one. You're going to see a lot of water bottles, frozen water bottles with thick plastic. Not your little cheapy ones are not recommended. You're going to see that. So I got on a video too, and I want to mention her. She's, let me see here if I can make this any bigger. I don't know if I can. COX Homestead, Cox Homestead. She has a video, and I'll pull it up for you guys. I'm going to show it here. 5 ways to keep rabbits cool. That was a good video, and she does meat rabbits, and I'm pretty sure they're meat rabbits. And she has this set up for them, and she was showing ways that she keeps them cool. And this is a popular way to mist your bunny's ears. That's the most popular. I can't talk, you guys. Most popular way I've seen it done is they take a spray bottle, mist the ears every so often when you're out in the rabbitry checking on your bunnies, and then you head back inside. The misting systems, the reason why I want to talk about this is because to me it's kind of bougie. My husband disagrees with me. He said, Jade, it's not that big of a deal. But I don't know. It's kind of cool to have a misting system, I thought. But there's a debate on it. So that you have your people that are like, yes, do it. And others that are like, no, that's not a good idea. You're asking for disaster in your rabbitry. So I wanted to get into that. And I seen this post first. This was supposed to be my first topic of discussion, but it ended up getting bumped to number dose here. Okay, so Backyard Meat Rabbits is the page I seen it on. Okay, that's the Facebook group, I should say. Okay, it says, and I'll pull it up for you. I was told by someone else that you could put a mister on rabbits in hot weather. Has anyone else done this? And let's read some of these comments. A wet rabbit in the heat is a dead rabbit, she says. Ceramic tile, frozen water bottles, and a fan works great for my rabbits here in Oklahoma. I don't think I mentioned any of those except the water bottle. I'm sorry. But yes, I've done ceramic tiles. I just feel like they don't stay cold very long, in my opinion. I'm in Kansas, and we either have very humid heats or we have a really dry heat. It's either hot and windy, hot no air, or humid as heck. We get everything in my neck of the woods. Like it's awful. So the misters grabbed my attention, right? So and I just got a fan for them, and I got a big one, so it can blow on everyone, and it's really nice. I was able to buy that this year, selling some rabbits. I have some that make it as pets. Not everything gets butchered, so pets or breeders. I'm probably going, this is the comment. Okay, guys, listen to this one. This is where I found this comment. So let's read it together. I'm probably going to get shot down for this, but I was told by a rabbit man who's done it for years, and my rabbits thus far have not shown any signs of distress and look quite comfortable with the 80-degree temps thus far. Gallon of water with a quarter of a bottle of Gatorade clear. I have a 12 by 12 ceramic tile in each cage. They love it. It's always cold, she says, and I do put a fan on as well. The Gatorade comment here is why we have that on the bunny board, on the Bunny Bulletin board today, because I said, what the heck is she talking about? I said that to myself. Oops, give me a second. I've got a kid knocking on the door. Sorry for that dead air that you're going to hear, because I'm probably not going to edit that out, but the show will not go uninterrupted at times, because I have 4 children. But they're doing okay. So, all right. So anyways, I seen that Gatorade comment, and it gets mentioned again here because someone responds to it, and it says, I do something similar, but rather than Gatorade, I add horse electrolytes to their water and two large box fans. What are horse electrolytes? Someone else says. They are powdered additives that you find at most feed stores that you add to their water to compensate for the loss of electrolytes due to heat or cold or exercise. And then she links it for us at Tractor Supply. You can buy it at most feed stores. Just a powder you sprinkle, yada, yada, yada. I almost made this a combined topic with the Gatorade, but we're just going to get into that one by itself. But I seen this and I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it because I want to figure out what's going on with this Gatorade because I've never heard that. But anyways, back to these misters. Bacteria and disease thrive in moist, wet conditions. The misters will provide just that. It's not a good idea, one commenter says. I have super fine misters around the perimeter of their barn and it works above 90 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a different comment. Great at keeping them cooler. What else do we want to read here? It's people going back and forth. If it's really hot, I will wet the tops of their heads down. LOL, never a problem. I don't know if I recommend that. You're not supposed to get them wet, from what I've read. Okay, like you're not supposed to, don't ever submerge your rabbit. I almost did a topic on that today because the amount of videos I've seen of people like bathing their rabbits and soaking them is crazy. They're not dogs. Please don't do that. Don't soak your guys' rabbits. If you disagree, that's fine, but it's a no. It's very not okay. So don't do it. Agree with me, it's bad. I'm joking. But anyways, sore hawks will increase with misters is what it says, and I can see that happening. Sore hawks will increase with misters, another person says. Sounds like a terrible idea. Rabbits don't tolerate wetness well, and they don't. You want to keep your bunnies dry. In any respect, it says, not only can they get pneumonia and skin infections, but their coat type causes it to mat when it gets wet, which will actually trap heat. It will make everything worse. I will add to this. We have really bad windows in my house, and I have my Holland Lops playpen. It was like directly by both windows. But we've never had any problem with leaking, but we've been getting so much rain in my area. I went to go pet him. It was about time for me to put him up for the night, put him in his little kennel to sleep. And he was wet. His fur was wet, and I panicked. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why is he wet? And it was like the top of his fur. And it was like, it felt like damp. He wasn't like soaked or anything, but it caused me concern because he's a fuzzy lop. And I'm thinking, oh no. And he ended up being fine. And he wasn't like I said, he wasn't sopping wet. Otherwise, I really would have freaked out. His fur was fine. Everything was good. But I did find out that day that my window was leaking. So, not a fun way to find out. And since then, I have moved his playpen because I don't want that to ever happen to him again. I don't think that would make him very comfortable. So this person says, I have misters above my cages, a large fan at the end of the barn, and I try to keep it positioned so the rabbits do not get wet. So I liked this comment. Nest boxes must be dry. I haven't lost a rabbit to heat in years, it says. And it must be since she started doing the misters. I've done it in certain setups. I've had, over the years, this person writes, where it helped cool off the surrounding area, but not directly on the rabbits. And these comments I really like because the way it's written is like if you would think that they're putting it directly on the bunny, right? Because when you mist their ears, you spray it directly on the bunny. So why wouldn't these misters be directly on the bunny too? But apparently they're not. So she says, in one setup, I had my rabbit cages in an area that had originally been a wall, pile of overgrown bushes and small trees, and I had hollowed out a path opening through it and hung the misters in the trees around the area, but not over the rabbits. And I didn't click this to continue it, but it's I'm assuming it kept the area cool is what she was going to say. Okay. Okay, on extreme heat warning days, I miss the air around them, and the fans bring that cooled air into their hutches. And someone put, sure you can, but why don't you just breed heat tolerant stock, he says. So he's like, why would you even bother with this? Just, if they can't handle the heat, cull them, is what he's trying to say. And that is an option if you want to perfect your bloodline. But we all get attached, don't we, a little bit? And if you can help, why wouldn't you, in my opinion? But I get what he's saying too. He's like, why would you even bother with all this? Because rabbits are a money hole. When I first started doing this, I thought I was going to bring in all this money and I'm going to be doing something I love and I'm just going to be making the bucks. No pun intended. But I've been in the red this entire time. I have not made any money doing it. But I do love doing this. It's worth it to me because I just love rabbits and I wish I would have done them sooner, but it just wasn't in God's plan for me until now. So, and I'm very grateful every day that I get to have rabbits. So, okay. So I grabbed some videos for us and I'm going to let those play. And let's see. Okay, so these are some of these misters, right? These setups. I wanted to show you some of these setups that people have. And let's go over some pros and cons while that's playing. And these pros and cons are courtesy of ChatGPT. So take from it what you will. Okay, so it says pro mister side, according to the AI, works in dry heat, Texas panhandle type climates, it says. Can drop ambient temps fast, best when paired with fans. That's not very many pros, but that's what it has. And an anti-mister side of things, humidity danger zone, mold, mildew, wet feed problems. Wet feet too, I would add. If the feed should be properly put up, but I guess if you have this directly on it, it would be bad as well. Gosh, that's a lot of problems. Some rabbit keepers refuse them entirely. It says the real takeaway from the community is misters are not a solution. They are a climate-dependent tool, which I would agree with. And let me see what I got for you right here. Okay, so I'm making sure it's on the same topic because I have other ones to... I wish I would have blown these up bigger. I'm struggling to read these. I have it written in my notes, and the font is too small. There's nothing I can do about it now. Okay, so it reads, hi, I am new to the rabbit breeding, so I apologize. Okay, and we're on Rabbit Talk website, by the way. I have it pulled up for you, I'm sure. I apologize if this question is too basic. I live in Alabama, and currently the temperatures are around 90 degrees and expecting to rise. I have 2 New Zealand white does that are expecting kits in the next 10 days. I just installed a misting system for my rabbits, and it's working fairly well. Lowering the temperature a few degrees, although they get slightly wet, wouldn't it be okay to keep using the misting system when the babies are born, or would it be better to not use it at all? I put some roofs on half of the cages, so if the bunnies choose to get more mist, they can, and if they prefer to cover, they can as well. Okay, so, and then this might be from a guy, I say she, but I think a guy wrote this, actually. I get rid of the pictures and the names for privacy. And they put, here are 2 videos of my current setup, which you'll be able to see the links. I don't think you're going to be able to get far with those, actually, but okay, so thanks in advance. Okay, so this person says in reply, I didn't view your video since we have satellite internet. Okay, yada, yada, yada. Misting system is fine as long as the nest box and the kits don't get wet. So my nest boxes are made out of wood, and I wouldn't want them to get wet because I wouldn't want the boxes to get ruined, is what this makes me think. And I definitely wouldn't want mist directly on them. If someone asked in a Facebook group if you could run a fan, as long as that air is not directly on them, I would imagine it would be fine. But you guys tell me below what you do. Okay. This person writes, it's considered high desert in at my elevation. There is very little standing water anywhere, so mosquitoes are pretty rare here. Last year, I only used the misters maybe half a dozen times. Cooling the dirt was always my first step. My main bunny barn, I apologize, is tucked away in the shade of some huge oak trees. And the tarp roof of my grow area only gets partial sun in the mornings. When I first started with rabbits, I gave them frozen 2-liter bottles of ice to lay against, but now I have far too many rabbits to do that. I do keep some frozen bottles handy for pregnant does in case they appear stressed, but other than that, and occasionally running a box fan, I don't do much in the way of cooling. Oh, so she's not really doing anything. My pregnant does are kept in the main bunny barn, which never gets as warm as the grow area. So, you know, I like that she pointed out how dry her heat is, but she's not. This is an example of someone that's trying to breed heat tolerant animals. And so I do Tamooks, and that was one thing that was appealing to me was their heat tolerance. They have a thinner fur coat. I will say though, I've never had an issue with sore hocks, not once, thank God. But she's right about the water bottles being kind of a pain when you have so many, especially like they're so little. I might try something different this year. I'll add into this, since we're talking about heat and rabbits. Oh, I wish I would have grabbed the comment. I think I have it screenshotted on my phone, but digging for it would be a very tedious task. But he was using coffee cans, those metal ones, and he was filling it with water, freezing it, of course, and putting wood chips in it as well. And he said that that keeps it from melting as fast. And then he puts, and it's a big coffee can. So I might switch over to a brand just for the coffee cans. So, because that would be just so much more convenient. Because you wouldn't need as many, and then they can just kind of huddle up against it when they want to cool down. Because right now my issue is they chew on the water bottles, and they bust open. And the plastic's not too thin, but it's kind of an issue. So what is my opinion on this, guys? I want to hear yours too. I expected that to be like a simple yes or no on the misters in the community, but it's not. It sounds like it's either, it depends really like on your climate, the geography of things. Like, are you in an area with dry heat? Because those people seem to swear by them. But if you're in a humid area, they're calling it a mistake waiting to happen. So I personally would try them since I'm in an area that gets both, but I definitely wouldn't do it daily. And I would make sure that it was not directly on them. I don't know how I would even make that work with the bunny barn, to be honest with you. I say I would try it, but saying it out loud, I just don't know. When I typed this up, I was pretty sure like, oh man, maybe I'll talk my husband into getting me a kit, but I don't know that I don't know. What do you guys think? I lean on the side of caution with things, and if my rabbits are going to get wet, it's a no for me. I did just buy a water bottle to mist them this year, though. I was using my hands and just kind of wetting the tips of their ears, but a little drop irritated one of my bunnies, and since then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and go buy a bottle, and that's what I do. Okay, so let's move on. If you made it this far, comment below what your thoughts are on this process and how you keep your rabbits cool in the summer. What are your top 3 go-tos for that? Comment below. I want you guys to interact with me a little bit. In my analytics, I can see that people are watching. The videos are so new, I can't really see how long people are watching for. Maybe I just don't know how to work the analytics, but it'd be cool to know if you're here, say hi, and if you like what you're hearing, give me a thumbs up. It'd be cool to get a like or 2 out of this, but if not, whatever. If you don't like it, you're probably not here and I'm just talking to myself. So, topic number 3, let's dig into that. Rabbit heat hack or rabbit myth, the Gatorade debate. So, I don't know how long this one's going to take, so we might make it to our mystery one, but if not, it's cool. I'll just have a topic I don't have to research for next week, but Gatorade. So, this isn't a well-known debate that I am aware of, but I love diving into these really odd rabbit hole type topics, if you will. And we already looked at some of these comments that got me started on this, right? This oddity. Odd in my opinion. But this stems from electrolytes for farm animals, or pets even, right? In the heat. You've heard it before. Chick days, if any of you have gotten chicks. Maybe some of you haven't, if you're living in town. But Electrolytes are something most people, I believe, get. I don't get them every time, but if you're buying new chicks, a lot of people pick up a packet of electrolytes. So can you, let's jump to this website, and I just took some screenshots from it. I'm not gonna hop back on the website necessarily, but can you give a rabbit Gatorade? Understanding electrolyte needs. So it says the short direct is a no. You should not give your rabbit Gatorade. Shocker, right? While it might seem like a quick solution for dehydration due to electrolyte content, Gatorade is not suitable for rabbits and can actually be harmful. Okay, so let's understand alternatives, it says, for your furry friends. The way I want to set this up is like, because there's some people that are saying yes to this. So I did kind of a little bit of both. I back and forthed it. So this website's saying no. And why are they saying no? So it says Gatorade is formulated for humans, particularly athletes who lose electrolytes and fluids through sweat. Rabbits, however, have very different physiological needs. Here are the primary reasons why Gatorade is determined bad for rabbits. And I just grabbed, I grabbed two of them. High sugar content. Loaded with sugar, it says. Their digestive system is not designed to process large amounts of sugar. And to be fair, I'm pretty sure that this lady's saying, didn't she say it was diluted? I don't know that I'm going to go back and check, but I'm pretty sure she did say that it was diluted. Maybe not. So many additives, it says as well. Many Gatorade varieties contain artificial flavors, colors, preservatives. These additives offer no nutritional benefit to your rabbit. Yes, can potentially, it says, cause allergic reactions, overdosing, is that what it says? Adverse health effects. Can you give your rabbit too much Gatorade? I would say yes. Okay, so back to Rabbit Talk website. I found a thread about it. So let's look at this. So it says, this must be like a portion into a post that maybe it was about something else. It says Jesse's kindling problem brings to mind the frustration of keeping on hand in a usable form different emergency type supplies. My expensive vet said not to use Gatorade. I guess she never read the ingredients label. Gatorade, Pedialyte, and livestock electrolytes. I'm glad she mentioned Pedialyte because apparently that's a thing too. It goes hand in hand with the Gatorade. It says they are pretty much the same thing as far as ingredients goes, is what she's saying. So she continues, I went out and bought a container of powdered horse electrolytes, apple flavored, which can be fed as top dressing. I typed this so small, you guys, so bear with me here. I'm doing my best. Okay. Top dressing on the feed or mixed into drink water. It's nice, light container, keeps it fresh, and I decided... Okay, hold on. So is this a powdered Gatorade? Or no. I'm sorry. This is the horse electrolytes. Ignore me. Okay. Keeps it fresh. And if I decide someone needs something real fast, I don't have to run out and get some, nor do I wind up throwing away money by throwing out unused product. So she says, I also have on hand sterile dextrose solutions. I don't know if I want to keep reading this, you guys. She's talking about injectable calciums. It's kind of getting off topic. Okay. So she says, don't use the Gatorade, but she went and bought the horse electrolytes. Okay, so we're going to leave it at that. I don't know why I thought that had some more. Okay. This commenter responding to the Pedialyte and Gatorade, she says, I gave one of our rabbits some Pedialyte once. He was needing electrolytes as soon as possible. It was 11 o'clock at night. Everything but Walmart closed, and I didn't have any Gatorade on hand, or else I wasn't sure I could use it. And this was several months ago. It worked great until I could get to the feed store the next day to get salt mineral block for him. I still have most of the bottle of Pedialyte, so I could use it again if necessary. So she's talking about an emergency situation. To me, it sounds like it worked. So, I mean, that's a good point, right? Like if it's late and you don't have anything, what do you do? You just lose your rabbit, or you attempt the Gatorade or the Pedialyte. Pedialyte, I would think, would be better. Okay, so continuing on. I believe this is a different commenter. Let me take a drink real quick. Okay. Okay, it says, I think the biggest issue some vets, this commenter says, that some vets have with us doing what we do is the fact that so much of what we use is off-label, quote unquote. As far as dosages and instructions, they want the big bucks and to provide us with acceptable high-cost drugs that are the same chemical makeup as what we're getting in the grocery and feed stores. Few vets really want to work with our herds. Even the large animal country vets think treating rabbits is a waste of time, this person says. I did have a vet in Florida that would take out the off-label use books. Yes, one is published for the veterinarian community, she says, in order to confirm dosages for specific dosaging, I guess. Now, there was a vet that if she was confident in your ability to handle this stuff, would help you keep expensive down to a bare minimum. So she's saying she found a really good vet. She said, all my vets have learned that I do not panic when an animal has something wrong, yada, 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 yada. Okay, not to dismiss what she's saying. I'm just trying to keep on subject here, but if it's off the label, basically, like they're not down for it. Well, because I mean, it's hard to, like, when you have your licensing like that, I imagine it's hard to recommend something that might be harmful to them. So ChatGPT says, I wanted to know about the ingredients. And it's referring to Glacier Cherry Light is what the AI wanted to pull up because it's almost clear. I couldn't think of I don't drink a lot of Gatorade. It said one is a very pale blue. I wouldn't give my rabbit anything blue. So it says clear Gatorade is a bit vague because the sugar content depends on whether it's regular version or the zero version. That could make a big difference when people are talking about giving it to rabbits during hot weather. And this is only for emergency situations, it sounds like. I'll pull these ingredients for you guys and you can look at those. I'm just going to put them right here for you to look at. I don't want to read through all of it. It says, this is the AI again, one thing that jumps out is the horse electrolytes are basically a concentrated mix of sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium salts, while Gatorade is much more diluted and includes flavoring and sweeteners. And that's what we worry about, right, is the sweeteners. So, guys, ending on this one. If you're putting together an emergency kit, which we may do a show on this, I might use that as a topic, because I've come across a bunch of, like, home remedies for buns. When a vet isn't an option, some veterinarians in people's areas do not treat rabbits because they're considered like an exotic animal. And so it's hard to find veterinarian care a lot of the times for rabbits. But, okay, so I would go with the horse electrolytes first, in my opinion, if there is like a electrolyte needed. And I would never recommend that anybody gives their bunny Gatorade. But I can also see why they did it in the Pedialyte, so... If you've made it through this topic, comment first aid kit in the comments so I know that you did. And that was wild, right? So my episodes are getting longer and longer, guys, and I'm kind of hesitant to do topic number 4, but since it's so short, should we just do it? Let's just do it. My kid's still sleeping, so. Gosh, these videos are getting long. I'm so sorry. Am I sorry, though? Because I'm having so much fun. So, topic number 4. Should I get a cat tree for my bunny? Have you guys seen this? So I'm not sure if it, and this is for my pet people, so not sure if it's a trend, but it's been popping up like crazy for me. So let's watch these cute clips I have for you. And I grabbed them off TikTok, and it says that this video is pretty short, so enjoy the cuteness. My favorites are like the pink cat trees that they have. They're just cute, right? It's fun to think that your bunny might like a cat tree. I don't care what you say. That's adorable. But I don't have much to report on this. Obviously, this is just a preference thing. This isn't like a debate or anything, really. I mean, there are some concerns, though, so we'll look at those. But I would lean towards caution. And if I were to get a cat tree for my bunny, for Mufasa, I think it would be short-lived because I imagine he would chew it up. So, excuse me. So, here we have some pros and cons, and these are courteous of ChatGPT. Okay, pros. Rabbits that love climbing often love them, so if you have a climber, this is for you. Many owners report their rabbits using cat trees as lookout towers, nap spots, and just a form of enrichment. Excuse me. I had to burp. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to burp in your ear, but I've been in here a while, so. Rabbits practically claim them as their own. Like I said, you're getting me at my best or my worst today, so you may be getting the worst of me. Extra enrichment. Climbing, exploring levels, hiding in cubbies, and jumping between platforms can provide mental stimulation. I'd be worried about how tall they get, if I'm being honest with you, because no one wants the rabbit to fall off a tall table when you're grooming them. And it says some rabbits enjoy the scratching post, which is odd. Okay, the main thing I wanted to go over with cons. They're not agile like cats. They're grabbing this off Reddit, it says, and can injure themselves, I just said, right, from falling off high platforms. Okay. Low cat trees are the thing. Okay, chewing hazards. These are what I wanted to go over. Staples holding carpet down. Exposed screws, glued sections, and carpet fibers. These things might not be like an issue for your cat, who's not going to eat this stuff probably. But a bunny could you imagine if your rabbit swallowed a staple? That would be horrible. Okay. So if you have one for your rabbit, please tell us about it. If you just love it or if you hated it and got rid of it right away. If you made it that far, comment cat bun below. And okay, I got a new segment for you. I should stop now, but let's just do it because it's adorable. My new segment, it's all new, right? This is episode 3. Rude Rabbit of the Week. And I actually pulled 3 pictures for you. First, second, and third place. Okay, so I have... This is from a Facebook group called Bunnies Are Arseholes. Join if you want to see some of these cute pictures. And it says, I played dead to scare mom to death. Picture of this little bunny. He's sleeping. He looks really comfortable in his surroundings. Okay, number 2. I got a bunny yesterday. I wondered what his first arsehole thing would be at 3 a.m. I got up for a minute and went in the living room to check on the bunny to find him halfway up the cat tree. So I put my winter jacket there to keep him from climbing the thing. Not even one full day, he's already being an arsehole, giving me a panic attack climbing the cat tree. So she just happens to have a cat tree and her bunny seems to enjoy it already. So that's kind of funny, right? That's why I pulled that one. And my winner here for Rude Rabbit, the award goes to, is this little naughty thing that made such a big old mess, because it's quite the mess. And it says, her space was spotless. We just cleaned the Loch Ness Monster strikes again. And I thought that was cute. I hope they call her Nessie for short. So... That's my Rude Rabbit winner. You guys comment below who the order you would have. Who would you have given that award to? Did I do it right? Did I do a good job? So thank you guys for listening to One More Rabbit Thing, and I have one more rabbit thing for you before we close out. Our bunny joke of the day, brought to you by AI. So what do rabbits? Are you ready for the joke? What do rabbits call sports drinks? Hopperade. Zing. And there's a picture for you. It's not the funniest one, but it kind of went with the show, so that's the one I picked. So, final thoughts for the day. So we learned so much, right? Rabbits might know their name. Some people are definitely giving them Gatorade, and apparently I've spent way too long researching things I never expected or anyone probably cares about. But thank you for joining me for One More Rabbit Thing. I hope that added to your week on your rabbit endeavors. And if your rabbit starts responding to its name, let me know. And if it starts asking for Gatorade, definitely let me know. So thanks for joining me, you guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye.